What's up, YouTube? Got a yo-yo review to do today. This is the Untitled Yo-Yo from Freshly Dirty. Alright guys, the Untitled Yo-Yo from Freshly Dirty, that was done on purpose by the guys at Freshly Dirty, is a follow-up small bearing, not really a follow-up per se, but it's another small bearing yo-yo, much like the Canary, produced by our good friends over at Freshly Dirty. Love Freshly Dirty. Those guys are always thinking outside of the box, always really trying to just do something different and cool and just have fun with it. And everything they put out has been different and cool and fun, and the Untitled Yo-Yo is the same way. As you can see, it says, "This yo-yo is not for resale." That is, I talked to Alex, and he had said that's, he's hoping that people ding it first day and just want to play the crap out of it and not try to like sell it or trade it on the BST or anything. He's hoping you buy it and you love it and you keep it and you play it every day and you beat the crap out of it. And I gotta say, I have really been loving this yo-yo a lot. Let's do some size comparisons here. I got a bunch of other cool Freshly Dirty things here. So here it is next to the Stale Bread. I would say the Stale Bread is more or less their probably most straightforward competition-y type yo-yo. As you can see, this is more or less a full-size, just full-size yo-yo. The diameter is a little bit big, but it's more or less full-size yo-yo. Nice and light on the string. I'd say it's right around 65-ish grams, maybe 64. All information is down below. Click on the links in the description. Find out much, much more about the specs of this yo-yo. And I believe it's 7068 aluminum as well. So, full-size yo-yo, but it kind of feels like a big yo-yo, like on the string, like a big floaty yo-yo. It kind of has that like Kraken vibe to it, but it's not that big of a yo-yo. I think that has to do with just the size of the yo-yo in general and how small the bearing is. You can see here that it has a smaller bearing. It is still fully unresponsive, but there's a smaller bearing in there, which really just gives the yo-yo a different feeling overall. There's also like a little undercut in there, which you'll see more when I take it apart. Grind finish is great, very like nice bead blast. It's not like overly powdery, but it's like kind of a, it's good. It's a nice light bead blast, but there's like a lot of it. That's probably the best way to do it. Engraving's very cool. I think it looks good there. You can't really feel the engraving, but you can see the engraving, and I like that kind of engraving because it's like just doesn't get in your way whenever you get your fingers in there or your thumb in there or whatever for like talon grinds and thumb grinds and stuff. Thumb grind's great, plenty of room to finger spin. It's not like a finger spin yo-yo, but you can totally do it. Response is good. I'll show you the pads. The pads are kind of different. I don't know where they got these pads or who manufactured the pads or how you would replace the pads, but they're different pads. So you'll see that when we take it apart as well. Just kind of a nice organic size, sort of a little bit H, but still kind of pretty organic. It's a good shape, it's a good size, it fits in your hand really well. Very nimble on the string, kind of like light and floaty. But it's fantastic. I love it. It's a really good yo-yo. It's probably just, it's something so different than anything else and just has such a different feel than lots of other things that you can't help but just pick it up and want to play it. But let's go ahead and throw it around a little bit. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. Alright, let's throw around the Untitled Yo-Yo. That's Freshly Dirty. So it's pretty quick, nice and light, but you still get a lot of good stability out of it as well. So it's a very easy yo-yo to use. Feels like a big yo-yo, kind of has that like little bit of floatiness to it, almost like the Sasquatch had. But it's not a huge yo-yo, it's just, and it can go quickly. It's really just a nice design and a very different sort of feel. I think due to that small bearing, but also just because the guys from Freshly Dirty are just outside of the box thinking kind of guys. Grind finish is great. This yo-yo is dead smooth, by the way. Like 10 out of 10 perfection. Grind finish is great, very easy to grind. Plus you get a little bit of surface area removed with that cut in there, but I'll show you. Also, thumb grinds, super easy. just kind of a nice yo-yo for everything. This is sort of your EDC type of yo-yo. Can handle anything you want to throw at it, but isn't really specific to anything. Like, I wouldn't say this is a competition yo-yo, but you can compete with it. It's stable and spins a pretty long time. I don't think you'd have much trouble competing with it, but it certainly wasn't designed with competition as a primary focus. Comes off the string very nicely. Response is very nice as well. Rejects nicely. No issues there. I mean, just a joy to play, honestly. I was like, I don't know how I feel about the small bearing, but I like it. I like it a lot. It does kind of give a different feel overall to the yo-yo, so which is nice because, you know, always nice to have something different. Control's great, lots of control, lots of nice floatiness. Kind of just feels light and good. As far as regens are concerned, let's see if I can get a regen here. Kind of in a tight space. Oh yeah. Regen's super nice. And even kind of handles like those tricks where you sort of wrap the string, like you would think with a small bearing it wouldn't. But did it just fine. So overall, I don't think the small bearing, I don't think you sacrifice anything for the small bearing. I think it just kind of gives the yo-yo overall a different feel, which is really cool. Show you guys. Finger spin's also very nice. I missed the bind though. But finger spin's great. You can kind of ride around the little nub in there, the little button. You can ride around that, and works great. You can change the string, but yeah. Let's go ahead. We'll stick it back on the desk, take it apart, and do pros and cons. All right, let's take the Untitled Yo-Yo apart. Comes apart very nice, no squeaking, extra nice and long axle. I like that a lot. Stainless steel axle, as you can see. Kind of bigger pads that sort of just circle the smaller bearing. And so they're kind of almost like the thickness of the snow tire pads, but they're smaller in the center to get around the bearing. I think you could probably fit full-size pads in here. They just wouldn't fill up the gap entirely. I'm not sure what kind of pads would fit this, but these work really well. These are good pads. As you can see, there's a nice cut there. Kind of removes surface area for your grinds, which is nice. Also kind of gives a nice little undercut weight relief there in the center as well. Kind of just a nice floaty yo-yo, and from there too, you get a good bit of rim weight as well. But it doesn't feel like super powerful or anything. It just kind of makes it stable. Yo-yo floats nicely, quickly. It's a nice light, kind of large feeling yo-yo, but it's not actually that big of a yo-yo. It's just kind of regular size. Just feels big because it's got the tiny bearing. So here's the little bearing, the concave bearing. Spins very nice. I haven't had any problems with it. I haven't had to do anything with it, so I don't imagine you would have any problems either. Came apart very nicely. Goes back together just as well. I could line it up. There we go. Yeah. Nice construction. Nice long axle. Would be a great yo-yo to carry every day. Really cool. The shape and the profile kind of remind me of the Grasshopper a little bit. Doesn't play anything like the Grasshopper, but this like shape kind of reminds me of the Duncan Grasshopper just a little bit. Those cuts in there. These aesthetic cuts look good too. I like that. I like everything about this yo-yo. I like how it looks. I like this blue. This blue is awesome. These engravings are cool. I like the Freshly Dirty guys. They're really cool guys as well. Let's do pros and cons. Pros, different. you don't have a yo-yo like this. It plays big, it's regular size, it's floaty, it's nice, great grind finish, finger spins doable, thumb grind's great. Literally can handle anything you want to throw at it, but just kind of has a different feel to it, and I think that smaller bearing really makes a difference. And I'm not saying I want every yo-yo to have a tiny bearing or anything like that, but this just sort of taken, you know, a left from the norm, but still sort of maintaining modern like play and modern like performance levels, I think really is nice, because what you get is something that plays different and feels different, especially on the string, but at the same time you get something that can handle anything you want to throw at it. And I really think that's kind of the just kind of, they hit the sweet spot with this. It's like, it's different enough so that you don't have anything like it, but it still plays really well, so that it's not like a crappy yo-yo with a weird gimmick. It's like a really good yo-yo that feels different. And I think Freshly Dirty, that sort of embodies a lot of how they do things. Is, you know, they want to make fresh, good things that are different and feel different and play different, but at the same time, that stuff should also be great. And I think they knocked it out of the park with this. I can't think of any cons. They might be hard to get because they're awesome, and they might sell it like that. That's not really a con. That's just me saying that this is really good and you should pick it up when it drops. But check the links in the description for more information on how you can pick one of these bad boys up. They're phenomenal. But thanks for watching, guys. Please make sure you like and subscribe. Cheers to you. I'll see you next time.